In this lesson, we're going to talk about how to find the point-slope form of the equation of a line. So, we can write the equation of a line if we know two things. One, we need to know the slope of the line, which is called m, like we said in the last lesson, and we need to know one of the points on the line, which we will call x1, y1. And we plug these two values into a formula called the point-slope formula. Clever, huh? And the reason it's called point-slope, I'm sure you can guess, is because it uses a point and the slope. So, for a line with slope m that goes through a point x1, y1, here is the point-slope formula. The equation of the line will be y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So remember, the x and the y are variables that we leave in the equation, and x1, y1, and m are all they're all holding the place of some numbers that we will know when we get the problem. X and y are variables that remain in the equation. x1 and y1 will be replaced with coordinates that we know, and you need to memorize this formula and use it on every problem that starts with the words write the equation of a line, blah blah blah. So every time you see a problem that starts out write the equation of a line, this is what you need, and so it's super extra important that you memorize this formula and be able to call it up and use it every time you have to write the equation of a line. So here's an example for us. Let's write the equation of a line with slope equal to 2, passing through the point -3, 5. Okay, so our slope, our m is -2, and our x1, y1 is -3, 5. Now, plug that into the point-slope formula. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. And now we're going to simplify the signs. So minus -3 is going to become +3, and that's all I'm going to do. Notice I did not distribute here. It's tempting because it's easy to do, but no. If you want to write the equation of the line in point-slope form, then don't distribute, because you want to leave it so that you can still see the point and you can still see the slope. If you distribute, you won't be able to see the point anymore. So that's called the point-slope form. Now, if we solve a linear equation for y, we have what's called slope-intercept form. And slope-intercept form looks like this: y equals mx plus b. And the reason this is called slope-intercept form is because the m is always the slope and the b is always the y-intercept. So if I take my answer from the last example that was in this form, this was called point-slope form because I can still see the point numbers and the slope. If I distribute the -2 and then add 5 to both sides so that I've isolated y, then this is now in slope-intercept form, and I can identify that the slope is -2 and the y-intercept is -1. Now let's look at another example where the slope happens to be a fraction. So in this one I have slope equals 3/2, and we need the line to go through 6, -2. So m is 3/2, and x1, y1 will be 6 and -2. So now, anytime the problem says write the equation of a line, we know that we have to start with the point slope formula. So it's going to be y minus y1 equals m, which is 3/2, times x minus x1, which is 6. So now if we fix the signs here, the minus negative, that's going to make plus, and that is point slope form right there. And now if we distribute the 3/2, 3/2 times x gives us 3/2 x. 3/2 times 6 gives us minus 9, because 3 times 6 is 18, and 18/2 is 9. Now subtract 2 from both sides so that we isolate the y, and we have 3/2 x minus 11. And so you know now that the slope is 3/2, which that was given in the problem. But slope is 3/2, and the y-intercept would be negative 11. And this is slope-intercept form. Now we can even find the equation of a line if we only know 2 points. Instead of knowing the slope in a point, if they just tell us 2 points, we can still do it, because we can use the slope formula first to find m, and then we can use one of the points in the point slope formula to find the equation of the line. So let's find the equation of a line through 2, 7 and 8, 19. So we're using the slope formula first, remember, to find m. So the m is going to be 19 minus 7, and on the denominator 8 minus 2. So that's going to give us 12 in the top and 6 in the bottom, which is 2. So m is 2. And then in the point slope formula, we have y minus, now I forgot to mention this, we know 2 of the points of the line. So when we get ready to use the point slope formula, we actually only have to use the slope and one of the points. So I always pick the one with the smallest numbers because that's going to be easier to use. So here I'm using 2 and 7 for my x1 and y1. So it's going to be y minus 7 equals m times x minus x1. So x minus 2. And this is the point slope form. And now if I distribute the 2 and add 7 to both sides, negative 4 plus 7 is 3. And now I have the slope-intercept form of the line.